and speaking of chilling out, on the other side of the docket with AEW, a lot of crazy stuff happening over there with CM Punk apparently is going to be coming back. And I know you've been in that locker room, have done work with AEW. What are your thoughts on all this stuff with the story from leading up from All Out until now?
Yeah, I feel like watching that All Out press scrum, the press conference, made me go, this sounds like a guy who's just airing all of his grievances and just doesn't care. And it certainly sounds like a guy who has no intention to return to this company. So when the whispers started happening about CM Punk returning, I'm like, there's no way. Like, how could you sit next to your boss and list off all the things you don't like, not just about the company, but about that person, and expect to go back there? So I was like, there's no way. And people would ask me months ago, like, do you think CM Punk's going to return anywhere, AEW or WWE or really anywhere? And I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I don't feel like you go out like that and expect to ever come back. But boy, everything seems to be lining up for June 17th in Chicago to have CM Punk return. And like, if they do this at the United Center the way that CM Punk came back 2 years ago on Rampage, it feels like a lot of people are going to be tuned in for this show. So if everything's lined up here, and it sounds like the TV deal is finalized, or at least about to be finalized, this is happening in Chicago, which of course is the place where CM Punk should be returning if he is coming back to AEW. First episode of their new Saturday night show. If they tease this enough, this could be AEW's highest rated television program of all time.
True. Yeah, that is very true. But I'm curious, because you're on the inside a lot and you talk to a lot of the performers. What are they saying about it? I mean, we hear all these rumors that some people are happy, some people aren't. What are you hearing about locker room morale? And, does everybody want Punk to come back?
I don't know what happened after All Out, but it sure seems like anybody that could have had an opinion on this has remained pretty tight-lipped about it. And I don't know if that's just people keeping to themselves, or if there's actually something going on legally here and they can't say anything. But I think at the end of the day, whether you like CM Punk or not as a fan, or whether you like working with CM Punk or not as a worker, you can't disagree that he brings in big numbers and he gets people talking. I mean, look, we're talking about CM Punk, and he hasn't been on AEW television since last year. So I think that he is good for business. He brings viewers in. So I think that, especially with a new TV deal on the table, it makes sense to have him make some sort of appearance. Now, if I was to put on my fantasy booker hat here, I would have CM Punk more in like a Brock Lesnar role. Like, have him come in 2, 3, 4 matches a year, but he's on television a lot, hyping up those big matches. That would make a lot of sense to me, rather than these quick builds with, I'm CM Punk and I'm going to wrestle so-and-so this Wednesday. And you're like, oh, I don't really understand why, but okay, sure. That happened a lot. And I think that it'd be better to have him build up to some marquee matches that really get fans invested. You want to talk about long-term booking? Give us that.